Have you ever wondered about the nature of life and death? What happens when we die? Where were we before we were born? Hi, my name is Stephen Hick, and today I would like to explore these questions with you. These questions have puzzled humanity for centuries. We often fear death because we cling to the idea of our individual selves. We believe that this life is all there is. But what if this is not true? What if birth and death are illusions, just like a dream? Spiritual traditions around the world teach that our true nature is eternal. We are not born and we do not die. This might sound paradoxical. After all, we see physical bodies being born and dying all around us. This video will explore the concept of universal consciousness. It will help us understand why birth and death might not be the final word on who we truly are. Are we something that is beyond our conception of self? The universe is vast and mysterious. It beckons us to look beyond our limited perspectives. Perhaps the answers to life's biggest questions lie not in the seen, but in the unseen. Not in the finite, but in the infinite. Imagine a consciousness that is boundless and eternal. This consciousness is not limited by the constraints of time and space. It simply is. This is universal consciousness. It is the source of all that exists, the fundamental ground of being. I sometimes call this universal consciousness, pure awareness, or our true nature. It is not something that you can see or touch. You can only experience it directly. It is like the canvas upon which the entire universe is painted. Everything that arises, everything that exists, arises from and returns to consciousness. Think of a still pond. Universal consciousness is like the water of the pond. Our individual minds are like the ripples that appear on the surface. The ripples are temporary, but the water itself remains unchanged. When the ripples run out of energy, they simply dissolve back into the water of the pond. How does universal consciousness become individualized or localized as individual human beings? Imagine putting on a virtual reality headset. The headset creates the illusion of a separate world. You become immersed in that world, forgetting your true surroundings. Our individual minds are like VR headsets. They create the illusion of being separate selves. We experience the world through the filter of our thoughts, emotions, and senses. We forget that we are part of something much deeper than ourselves. Just as the VR headset limits our perception to a simulated reality, our minds limit our experience to the physical world. We become identified with our bodies, our thoughts, and our emotions. We forget our true nature as pure consciousness. Section 4. Matter, a dance of consciousness. From the perspective of universal consciousness, matter is not as solid as it appears. Quantum physics tells us that matter is made up of energy. This energy is constantly in motion, vibrating at different frequencies. Our senses interpret these vibrations as solid objects. However, the true nature of matter is much more fluid and dynamic. It is a dance of consciousness, a symphony of energy constantly changing and transforming. Imagine a kaleidoscope. As you turn the tube, you see an endless array of patterns and colors. The pieces of glass inside the kaleidoscope remain the same. It is the changing arrangement of those pieces that creates the illusion of movement and transformation. Section 5. The eternal truth. You are that. If our true nature is universal consciousness, then we are not born and we do not die. We simply change form. Just as the water in the pond takes on the shape of the ripples, our consciousness takes on the form of individual bodies and minds. When the body dies, our consciousness is not extinguished. It simply merges back into the ocean of universal consciousness. It is like taking off the VR headset and returning to our true environment. We realize that we were never truly separate from the source. The fear of death arises from our attachment to the illusion of separation. Without this attachment, there is no fear of death. When we realize that we are not our bodies, our thoughts, or our emotions, we become free from this fear. We recognize our eternal nature and embrace the truth of our being. You are that.